This podcast is sponsored by nobody.
Hey dudes, this is Cindy Hines, Candace and David Cronenberg's The Brood, and you're listening to Tommy Throwback Kovac on Splat from the Past, a show about horror, stinky smells, and sex jokes. I love it.
Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror sci-fi show where things could get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming Anne Green. Anne Green is a Canadian actress. She's played a lot of bit parts and been a stand-in in a lot of great classic cult movies going back to the 80s. Oh my god, Police Academy 3 and 4, The Fly, in which she kind of got to share a scene with Jeff Goldblum there. She was Elisabeth Shue stand-in Adventures in Babysitting. She was in Moonstruck, switching channels. She's been in shows like the Degrassi Junior High, the Twilight Zone reboot, and many others. And we're going to talk about all of that stuff today. I wanted to get an interview for the 35th anniversary of David Cronenberg's remake of The Fly, and she was the only one who responded. So it's going to be a great conversation today. And, I love talking to bit part players. Terry Bolo is one of my closest friends. And, she's the queen of the bit parts. And now I get to talk to, Canada's queen of the bit parts. And that's Anne Green. So, here is my interview with Anne Green.
Hello.
Hey, Anne. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. How are you? It's so nice to hear your voice again.
Yeah, I am spectacular. This is such a great honor. Thank you for taking the time today, even though I know you told me that you have a little bit of a cough.
Hopefully it won't be acting up while we're talking.
Yeah, we shall see. So, going back in time, did you gravitate toward acting early on in your childhood?
Oh, well, I would say I was probably about 16. And I got a job working at CFCF TV in Montreal. Mm-hmm. And I got a chance to work in the television area and got on some of the game shows. And they always wanted somebody young and pretty at the time to go on their shows. So that would be me. And that sort of started me up, I guess.
Really, you had never done at least school plays before that?
I think I did some school plays at camp and in school, but I just honestly I can't even remember what they were. Oh, I remember. No, sorry, I do. I did Macbeth at camp. Out damn spot. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it was just a small part.
Yeah, very small. Can you hear me okay? I have a little bit of feedback.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out a little bit.
I wonder if I should just switch to my phone instead of the computer. Would that help?
No, this is good. I can hear you loud and clear, though.
Okay.
So you're born.
Hello?
Yeah. So you're born and raised in Toronto?
No, in Montreal, actually.
In Montreal.
In Montreal, and I came to Toronto. I moved to Toronto, where I live now, in I guess it was 73 or so, after coming back from Hawaii, living in Hawaii.
Wow.
Which actually, I had my very, very first speaking part, like real speaking part, on Hawaii Five-0.
Ooh, talk about that.
Well, and let's see now. I'll tell you how it happened. Mm-hmm. I was at a party, and this man, he was older than me at the time, was chatting me up and said, "Oh, you should come down for a reading." And I didn't know who he was, but one of my friends said to me, "Do you know who he is?" I said, "Well, not really." He says he's a really famous producer here in Hawaii. I said, "Oh, okay. Well, he wants me to go down for a reading." I don't even know what that it means at the time. So, anyways, my friend told me, well, that means you got to read for a part. I said, oh, okay. So I went down and I met up with, I think it was Bob Bush was the producer, and I read for him, and I had a little part going through the airport. My very big line was, "Thank you very much."
Was that producer Leonard Freeman?
Sorry. Yes, I think. But Bob, who's Bob Bush now? I guess was he the producer? Leonard.
He was probably the other producer.
No. Yeah, Leonard Freeman. Sorry, it's Leonard Freeman. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, his daughter Lisa Freeman is a cult movie actress. Been trying to get her on here for years. I hope I get to. I had a huge crush on her back in the day.
Oh, really? I don't think I ever met her. Anyways, so that was it was fun because the part I had, although it wasn't big,
yeah.
It was at the airport going through customs, and I had done a lot of traveling in the day, and that's all I ever did was go through customs at the airport and wearing my jumpsuit and with a carry-on bag or something, and so it was just the perfect part for me.
Nice. So after you came back, did you study acting anywhere?
Yes, I did. I studied at where did I study? I studied at Second City, Sears and Switzer, at Leah Possum's Theater School, a bunch of places and workshops and what have you.
I've talked to Second City people. Let's see, John Kapelis, David Hubin, Ron James, Linda Cash.
Oh, Linda Cash. Yes, I worked actually on a film with her called Rosie Takes the Train. She was in that with me. It was a small, I think it was independent film, but she was in that with me. Lovely lady.
Yes, very lovely. I adore her. How about was Derek in there with you? Derek McGrath?
On that particular one? No, he
on Second City.
In Second City. Not, honestly, I can't. All I remember is there was some. I really don't remember who I worked with, quite frankly, at the time. But I do remember I worked with somebody who was on Meatloaf, the movie.
Meatloaf.
It was called Meatloaf, the movie.
I never saw it.
Oh, okay, that's a long time ago. Anyways, I didn't work with that. I really can't remember the people I worked with. It's just too long ago. Sorry.
It's okay. How long were you there for?
I was taking courses off and on over a couple of years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
With them, in and out. I wasn't taking it too seriously at the time. I just liked going to the classes and like doing it. It wasn't, I wasn't looking at having acting as a career move per se.
Right.
I just enjoyed the interaction with people and just getting on stage and doing stuff.
But what gave you the incentive to pursue acting? Ultimately.
Ultimately?
Yeah.
I really, I think it was just a way for me to get out there and express myself. And I mean, what other job can you go to that you can be a different character every day that you work?
Right.
And I found it quite exciting. So, and I think I really kind of pursued it more after when my kids were quite young, just to have another avenue of something to do, something different to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sense?
That's a good way of looking at it. Absolutely. So I looked at, that resume you sent me, and I made a whole list here. Starting with Philip Marlowe, Private Eye. I used to watch that show when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh. That was, I'm trying to remember what I did on that show. That was back in, when was that back?
84, 85.
I'm trying to, Philip Marlowe. I think Powers Booth was in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I think in that one, really, I was just a diner in a restaurant. And that was it.
Yeah.
That's all I did on that show. But I can't remember the other people that were on the show except for Powers Booth. He was actually quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he won an Emmy during the writer's strike, and he went up there and said, "This is either the happiest moment of my life or the dumbest."
Oh. You were mentioning, by the way, before about it was Derek McGrath in the other show, in the other movie. I did work with him on Little Mosque on the Prairie.
Uh-huh.
And lovely guy. And along with Arlene Duncan.
Right.
She's just amazing. I don't know if you know. Are you familiar with Arlene Duncan? She's got a sitcom now called Digstown.
Her name sounds familiar.
Arlene Duncan. So that has to be one of my favorite series I've ever worked on, besides Schitt's Creek.
Nice. How about Perry Mason Returns?
Oh, I loved working on that. I got to meet Barbara Hale, and who else did I get to? I got some really, I really had a good time on that show because I got to play like a lawyer on some of the scenes, and the people on the set were very, very friendly and really nice to work with.
Right.
I think I also one of the episodes was like a secretary on the show,
Mm-hmm.
so like a court secretary, and I have to say, Tommy, there's so long ago. It's hard to sort of, when you're asking me right now about different things, I have to think about it. I really have to stop and think of what I did.
Yeah.
I've worked on like over 400 productions, and it's quite a bit challenging to try to remember everything.
It's okay. I talk to people who don't remember certain things I ask, and it's okay. As long as some things are remembered.
All I know is I just every time I got up that I loved it. I can't say I've ever worked on anything I didn't like working on.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Yeah. How about Police Academy 3 and 4?
Oh, fun. Police Academy 3, I just loved it. Oh, my God. They had a great scene where Steve Guttenberg had to get off, I guess, what is it called, a jet ski or one of those, like jet ski or something, or raft or whatever with the motors behind it, and jump on top of jump onto the ground and come running into a scene, and everybody is going nuts there because there's men with masks on and what have you. But it was just a wonderful, wonderful time working on the Toronto Island doing Police Academy 3. And I remember working on that show. In the middle of the show, I get a call from my agent. You got an important audition. You got to get to it this afternoon. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm in the middle of, Police Academy 3, working on the show. She said, well, you got to get to it. Anyways, I knew a lot of the crew members at the time as well. So I talked to the first AD and said, listen, I really have to go to this audition. I can do it at lunchtime. Can I somehow get to it? And here we are in Toronto Island, which means you have to get a ferry or boat or something to get across into the city. Well, anyways, because these crew members at the time, they loved me and didn't do anything for me. So what did they do? They got me aboard of one of those rafts with a motor, and got me to the ferry. And the ferry took me back to Toronto, and driving in my car to the audition, I'm changing in the car because I knew I had this audition, but I didn't think it was this day, but I had my clothes in the car. I had to change into this cowboy outfit or cowgirl outfit. Here I am driving, changing, taking off my dress, putting on my shirt or whatever I had to put on, my vest and what have you, getting dressed in the car, racing to this audition. And I got there in minutes to spare.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the part. Anyways, so that was that's what happened then.
Yeah, but you
have to be there to see it. Okay.
What was that?
You have to be there to see the sequence of events because it was quite funny, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on the Police Academy movies. I think they're still hilarious.
Oh, and
Bubba Smith?
Bubba Smith, right. He made a comment to Steve. I remember when I was there saying, wow, she should be with me. Or something like that. Anyways, it was, that was that story.
Yeah, Jerry Paris directed. I've heard from a few people that he could be quite cruel to work with.
I don't really, I didn't personally experience it.
Uh-huh.
I just remember there was a lot of shouting going on all the time, that's all.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I heard.
But that was a fun story.
How about The Fly?
Oh, well, The Fly, that was, the only part I had was sitting in the restaurant behind Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, but it was really kind of a thrill to, be working on set with them. Very nice people. And, but I didn't have too much interaction with them, but very nice. And was just myself and those two, and I think there was one other person, so it was nice.
Yeah, I think it's one of Cronenberg's absolute best horror films, because, it could have been, a note-for-note copy of the original with Vincent Price, but I don't know, he brought some depth and humanity to it.
I wish it would have been in the scenes that, actually in the studio. This was on location. Because I would have loved to have been on that set and just seen, all the workings or behind the scenes stuff. But I actually met David Cronenberg. I did talk with him briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I actually worked on, it was called Twins. Twins? They changed it.
I know what movie you're talking. Dead Ringers.
Dead Ringers. They changed it. It was really called Twins, I think, and then changed to Dead Ringers or vice versa. I'm not too sure which. Anyways, he's a very interesting person to watch directing.
Yeah, of course, because there was a movie called Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger at that time.
Yeah, no, that's the one I was in.
How about guest starring on Night Heat?
Oh, I loved working on that show with Scott Hyland and oh my God, Jeff Minkoff.
Mm-hmm.
I was on that show pretty much every other episode at least. Anyways, but I was on that. I worked doing background on that show, and they would change me. I was like a chameleon to them. That's what they told me, because every time they changed me, I looked like somebody different. So I'd be in the same scene 4 times, maybe 5 times as a different person,
mm-hmm.
and dressed differently. And I was very good at hiding my or changing my appearance.
Right.
Like really good. That even some of the crew members that actually knew me,
right.
They see me afterwards, just dressed normally. Says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I was on the show." He says, "You were? I didn't see you." After doing 4 or 5 different changes at times. But I loved working on that show because I got to play a hooker. I got to, I don't know, many things. That was one of my favorites. And that's what's really kind of when I was first, kind of starting out.
Yeah.
And when I came to Toronto. So.
Did you work with Stephen Mendel?
Stephen Mendel.
He was on Night Heat.
No, Tony Rosato.
Okay. Tony Rosato, what was he like?
Well, I found him very nice. I talked to him quite a few times back in the day, and I found him very nice. I can't remember anything negative.
Yeah.
Why, is there negative stuff?
Well, they said he was a very complex guy, but he was a talented genius, I mean, I remember seeing him on Second City play Lou Costello in a sketch called Abbott and Costello, and it was so funny.
Oh, I never saw that.
On SCTV, yeah. It was really, really funny. It's on YouTube, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I'll have to look it up. Oh, you know what I just saw that was really funny? Well, it was really good. Did you ever see the Robin test footage?
Robin what?
Robin Williams, the test footage. Robin test footage. I think Jamie Costa did it.
No, I don't recall.
Oh, I'll send you the information later. I was just watching. It was just amazing. Look-alike for Robin Williams.
Okay.
A comedy skit. Anyways, just getting off track here. But I was watching it before you called. Sorry, go ahead.
How about Popeye Doyle?
Oh, yes.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill. Nicholas Caddy. He played Popeye Doyle. Amazing. He was really, really good. And actually, I went out to a nightclub with all of those guys. Mm-hmm. One of the nights that I was there, and it was just interesting because they all looked like mafia people in the club. Anyways, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I heard Ed O'Neill say in an interview he was embarrassed by it because they did a. I'm trying to remember where it was. Something about his shoes. Like there was a continuity error in his shoes that just bothers him. Like when he saw it premiere, and every time he thinks about it, he thinks about that moment.
As if anybody would really notice, right?
Right.
Watching.
You were on the reboot of Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yes. I was on a few of those. I have to get my thinking cap on here. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. What did I do? I think in one of them I was a tennis player.
Right.
That's all I can kind of. Yes, I was. I was a tennis player, and I think was Roberta Maxwell in that one. I can't remember.
I don't know. There's no specify on IMDb or your resume.
Oh yeah. I was a tennis player. I was playing tennis. That's all I did. Play tennis.
Now here's something that really caught my eye. You were a stand-in on Adventures in Babysitting.
Yes, I was.
Yes. Oh my God! Tell me about that.
That was well, there was a party. There was a party scene.
Yeah.
When I did two things in that show. I was standing for Elisabeth Shue when she had to go in the underground garage. I don't know, she was, but I can't remember what she was doing down there. And I think she may have been with the kids. And they just dressed me up. I looked exactly like her.
Yeah.
Well, maybe from behind. I don't know. Then after they needed somebody in the party scene, so they changed me and they put me in as one of the guests in there. And while the kids are supposedly hanging out from the window or but Elisabeth Shue, she was also a very nice lady, and at the time I really didn't know who she was. I wasn't familiar with her, but
yeah.
Through the years I said, "Oh yeah, I was her stand-in."
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I remember when you say the party scene, you talk about the college party or the high school reunion party with her parents later.
With the parents.
Yeah, when she puts on that mink coat and she's like hiding. Right. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I talked to Keith Coogan in that about a couple months ago. He's a great guy.
And who was? I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Keith Coogan. He was the boy who had a crush on her.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
You get to talk to a lot of people, don't you?
Oh yeah, 1,340.
And counting.
In 4 years, yeah.
And counting. Oh my goodness.
How about Moonstruck?
Oh, I loved working on that. I'll tell you what happened. Actually, mm-hmm. I was working in a scene with Cher. It was just a small scene, just me and Cher in the store in the bridal shop, mm-hmm. and I was talking with her. And then after that, and that whole scene was cut, by the way. At least I didn't see it. And then Norman Jewison came up to me and says to me, "I want you back tomorrow for the restaurant scene." I said, "Okay." He says, "You're absolutely striking. I want you back." I said, "Okay." So I went back the following day, and they put me in the restaurant with the scene where Dukakis is throwing water at I forget who she was with. Whoever that she was with in the restaurant throws water at her, and and I'm just table next to her reacting to that. That was it.
Yeah, she just passed away recently. I heard she was just a great lady. Yeah. She had no ego whatsoever.
She was really, really nice. She was really, really nice. And I was glad I had a chance to work with Cher, because she was always, growing up, she was my idol. If I had to say who my idol is, she was my idol back then. And back then, my hair was down to my waist, and I even have a picture of myself all dressed like the way Cher would dress back then, and I looked like Cher in it. So I was so excited when I found out I was going to work on Moonstruck to actually meet her, to see her. And I know what people that are starstruck or has to meet the stars and that sort of thing, but she was one I did want to see.
Mm-hmm. And so you actually got to talk to her then?
Oh yeah, I did, because it was only me and her in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So she said to me, "I love your cape." I had this long black cape that I was wearing.
Right.
That had like attach the scarf that throws over your shoulder. It was really nice outfit. And so I said, "Oh, thank you."
I like that picture you sent me the other day of you and Burt Reynolds. Tell me about switching channels.
Oh, that was fun. Switching channel. I was like, what was I doing on that? I was one of the newsroom. I have to just look here and see. Gosh. I was an advertising executive, and I was doing continuity on that show. So I was on it for almost like 2 weeks or something. I think Kathleen Turner was on that, and Tony Rosato again, and Christopher Reeves, and Burt Reynolds, of course. And he was a sweetheart, because at the end of the shoot, he came to me and gave me a kiss on the cheek, and he says, "It was lovely working with you."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was, really, really nice.
Well, he was a romantic.
Yeah. Anyways, so it was fun working on that show. There was just a lot of activity going on all the time, and yeah.
The Twilight Zone reboot, which does have an episode here on IMDb. It was an episode with Harry Morgan.
Which one again?
The Twilight Zone reboot. You play a crying woman.
Yeah. Well, I don't really remember too much about that one, but all I remember is the being on the ground, crying over some dead body. I think she was dead, and that was it.
How about Degrassi Junior High?
Well, Degrassi Junior High, I did a few things. I was a teacher on one of the episodes, and I was on a few of the episodes, and I did some. What did I do on it? Some background work on it. I had a teacher's role in it. I had a parent role in it. A golf player, jogger. Whatever they wanted me to be, I would be.
Yeah. And now you mentioned. Go ahead.
No, sorry. You go ahead.
You mentioned before about Schitt's Creek. You said it's one of your favorite experiences. Anything stand out on there?
Well, like every time I worked in it, it was there's always something to laugh about. It was a happy show. It was a fun show. I mean, people were, Dan Levy was I really liked Dan Levy and Eugene Levy, funny, and everybody was friendly, and it was just a lot of fun things. I can't remember one particular incident that's overweighs something else, but at the moment. But
I see you've done some really wonderful theater plays. You've done The Odd Couple, Aladdin, Frankenstein. Any stories there?
Let me think. For theater, oh my God, there's always stories. Aladdin. No, I can't tell you that story. Sorry.
Why not? There's no censorship on this podcast.
Are you serious?
No, there's no censorship. Swear all the time.
Okay, well, on Aladdin, I played a harem girl, and they have down below they have musicians and the piano player and what have you, and the piano player he was an older guy. Like, I don't think back then he was in his 70s. Okay, so he came up. Oh no, I can't tell you this story. I can't tell it to you.
Was it a hashtag Me Too story?
Maybe. Anyways, he made a very complimentary complimentary remark to me about watching me do the harem dance, what it did to him.
Yes.
How about that?
Oh, I get it. So he elaborated on his masturbation fantasy.
Well, not like that, but he said he had a boner.
Okay. Gotcha.
That his exact words.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
And did you bleep on that one?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. So, has there ever been a period where you gave up acting?
Yeah, during COVID.
Of course.
This past year, I've done nothing. Like, I haven't done anything. And it's just the first time since I'm really was working aggressively, let's say, since the 80s, that I just haven't worked once. And my choice.
Mm-hmm.
My choice. I did not want to go out and work.
Have you at least done any auditions on Zoom or anything?
A couple of 2 or 3 auditions on Zoom, and I'm not really fond of that. I did it. I did it with my granddaughter. They wanted a grandma and granddaughter, so I thought, okay, it would be fun for her. So I auditioned for that, and they liked it, but there are other people, I guess, that they like more. So there you go. Anyways, but I really want to get back in the spring, and hopefully by next spring, and start up again. And I'd like to do some more theater. I really, love doing theater work. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to do some independent films, some student films. They're always a joy to work on. I love working with students. They're so... I find, working on some of the student films even, that a lot, funny enough, they're a lot more... I don't know if I want to use the word professional, but they just want to do whatever you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They just want to please you and want to make sure you're happy, and so you want to do a good job for them, and you want to, make their work for their projects be perfect. So, anyways,
are you proud that you've been a bit part player for a lot of your career?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say I love it, and it doesn't bother me at all, because I get to play so many different characters that I could. And I could honestly say that I'm really proud of a lot of the stuff that I've done, because I do it. I go out there, and the costume people are always happy with the stuff I bring. If they don't use their stuff, the makeup people are always happy the way I come ready on set, and they always compliment me on this. This is, they always say, I know when you're on set that I don't have to do anything. You're perfect the way you are. You got your makeup on right, your hair is perfect, and even the wardrobe has always said you come with always the right things for us. So, it makes it, nicer to, and want to be there, kind of.
Yeah, one of my really good friends that I've made on this podcast the last few years, her name's Terry Bolo, and like you, she's played a lot of bit parts in movies here in America, and she's been a stand-in, and she takes pride in it herself. She even participated in a documentary about people who play bit parts and are extras on movie and television sets. It was pretty interesting, I think certain people they aim high when they're young, and then when they're in the business for a while and they get to play bit parts, they see what an ugly business it is, and so they get happy of where they're at, playing the bit parts.
Well, you know what? I love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I've got a speaking part, or if I don't have a speaking part, or if I have a big part, or if I'm, whatever. I love being on set. That's the bottom line for me. I love being on set. I love meeting new people and watching, what goes on behind the scene, and just seeing all the interaction. And, I don't, the only thing I don't like about this is sitting around and waiting.
Yeah.
That I always make sure I have a good book with me. So as long as I have a good book with me, I'm okay. But otherwise, I love being on set.
Yeah,
I really do. Back to back, I remember doing big parts where I'd go work on, let's say, I don't know, V.H. Adderley, and during the day, and then turn around and go work on Night Heat at night, and like back to back. So I'm like, sleeping on the floor somewhere because I have to get some sleep somewhere. It just was my life. It was what I loved doing. So I never minded now. I don't think I want to work do as much as I did back then, but I'd be working constantly.
Yeah. So, how was your Thanksgiving yesterday?
Oh, it was fantastic. I spent it with my grandkids and my kids and my son-in-law's family, and it was lovely. We each brought a dish of something and ate a lot and drank a little bit of wine. It was fun. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So there's this secret silly game that I like to play with my guests. This is a series of silly slumber party questions. No win or lose, just pure fun. And how it works is I ask you the question, you answer it, and then you ask me the exact same question and I answer it.
Okay. What if I can't answer it?
And you can comment on answers.
What if I can't answer it? If I don't know how to answer it?
I rarely get that. I mean, I can always rephrase the question or go to another one or something.
Okay. Go.
Anne, are you ticklish?
Yes. Tommy, are you ticklish?
I'm very ticklish. I've been known to hit people in the groin. I'm so ticklish. What's your favorite part of the body? It could be anything.
In a man?
Anybody, yeah. Yourself, anybody.
Legs in a man.
Legs. Legs are nice.
Yes. What's your favorite part of the body, Tommy?
The belly button.
Oh, cool. You'd like my belly button ring then.
Oh, you have yours pierced?
Yeah. Well, should I be saying this on air?
No, you can. I said anything. Say anything.
My secret is gone now. Oh, dear.
What color are your toenails painted?
Right now, lilac.
Nice.
What colors are your toenails, Tommy?
They're lavender.
Oh, they're like mine.
Yes.
Oh, we're like twins.
Yeah. What would you say is your best personality trait?
My best personality trait?
Yeah.
I'm there for my friends and to listen to them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What's your personality trait?
Yes. I have empathy and I have no filter.
Yes, I could see that.
My favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
Oh, yeah, skunk.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty bad.
What stinky smell makes you gag?
Either farts or feet.
Yeah, that too.
Exactly. And I have a couple jokes for you. You know the difference between a golf ball and a G-spot?
A golf ball is bigger?
A man rather spend 20 minutes looking for a golf ball.
Oh, God. Really?
Well, there's a little bit of truth to that, right?
No comment.
What do you call a boy that doesn't masturbate?
I'm stumped. What?
A liar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And thank you so much for coming on today. You are so wonderful.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. That was very nice of you to have me on board. I really enjoyed our time together here today.
Yes, and by the way, you did not cough one time.
Oh, phew. That was one thing I worried about the whole time before our call.
Yeah. Well, Ann, you have yourself a great day, and please stay safe.
Okay, you too. Thanks again for having me.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Well, there you have it. Anne Green. Ain't she a sweetheart? What a great lady, huh? And she's living proof that there's no small parts, just small actors. She's playing big parts as a small part actor. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.